Hello. For today's workout, can you get a scarf? Since it's not cold enough to wear one, I know you have a scarf sitting around with nothing to do. Happy accident. Um, I wanted to do a towel workout this week, and the towels I usually use, I had to bring my towel from here back to the studio because we had too many people that needed towels for class. So I just grabbed the scarf that I never use, and I've been using it as a towel when I do virtuals. But when I was playing around for this, I started feeling it like a scarf and not a towel. And this little bit of stretch that it has, I'm going to try to use that specifically. So if you do end up using a towel or something, I think the workout will still work, but it will not be as awesome as if the thing is a little bit stretchy. Sorry, I just like to recheck the time when I babble to you for a while because it's hard for me to make it half an hour anyway, but when I babble for 2 minutes, I don't even know if I succeeded when I check later. Okay, we're going to start sitting with our legs crossed. If that's not a comfortable position for you, grab one or two cushions and you could just sit on them with your hips on it and your legs forward. I also just made up this workout, so if you see me doing this, my phone's over there just in case I forget. Okay, I usually know what I'm doing. I mean, I usually don't know what I'm doing. I'm making it up as I go. Sorry, I'm saying that backwards. But I had some good ideas today. Okay. You can tell me if that's true when you're done. Let's start out holding the towel at chest height. And I just called it a towel. Scarf. Just push out into it a little bit, just to kind of get a feel for that little bit of end range stretch that we're talking about. So it's not as much as like working out with the band. It definitely has a defined end point to the stretch. And we're going to play with that feeling because it's going to force us into a type of deceleration that we talk about a lot in the equipment classes. But I don't know if every exercise, the deceleration is always obvious to you guys. All right, so here we go. Starting out with your warm up breathing, elbows in close by your sides. Just sit up nice and tall over your sit bones. We're going to start breathing and flexing forward. On your exhale, drop your chin, round forward, and reach the scarf forward at chest height. As you inhale, you're going to come back up to vertical. And again, exhale, round forward, press your arms away from you. And then inhale to lift back up. Try to stay on your sit bones as you curl forward. So make sure your head's looking down at the ground, a little farther forward than your shins. And then back up one more time, and then I'm going to add another piece. Now, bring it back to your chest, and I want you to pull your shoulder blades back, look up at the ceiling. Now you're going to reach your arms overhead, and in time with that, come to a neutral spine again. As you bend your elbows, pull your shoulder blades together, look up at the ceiling. Transfer to neutral. Now start to flex forward, reach your arms out. Bend your elbows in. We're going to go vertical. Pull your shoulder blades together, lift your chest, and as you reach overhead, look forward. Lift your heart. We come through that extension. Exhale, round forward. Inhale up, shoulders back, look up at the ceiling. Exhale, reach overhead, come to that neutral. Feel the ribs slide down. Inhale, heart goes up, pull it to your chest. Now round forward. Exhale, draw your abs back, but stay on the sit bones. Inhale, pull it back into your body. We go through vertical, find the extension. Now exhale, reach overhead, look forward. One more time. Inhale, heart up to the ceiling. Start to gaze forward. Now exhale, flex to look down at the floor. Inhale, bring it back to your chest. Feel neutral. Now come to extension. Exhale, arms overhead. All right, bring the arms back down. Now I'm going to have you start a little bit looser grip, just a very gentle sway side to side. And don't try to go to the max of your range of motion. Really just make it a gesture of swaying and not an actual stretch. See, my arms are even getting now out of line with my spine. What is that craziness? One more to each side. Okay, great. I'm going to turn sideways to you, but just stay, you can stay sitting like that. Okay, now pin down one end of your scarf to the floor. And I want you to pose a side bend. Keep the arm that's down kind of close to your body, but doesn't have to be right into your hip, but a bent elbow for sure. And just pose a regular side bend where your towel is, scarf is taut, but not stretched. Push push down your opposite sit bone. All right, so we know we've got an anchor point for your side bend. Now I want you to pull up slightly on that scarf to get that extra bit of stretch, and we're going to pulse to the side. As you pulse, reach your arm and push your hip down further. Keep the tension in the scarf, 2 and 3. Now come up to vertical and just bend your elbows so you could like bring it with you with just like the tone. Let's do that again. So we're going to plan to the side, not right into the pulse. Get your side bend, push your hip down, push up into the scarf, and then pulse, keeping that extra pressure. 1, push the hip down. 2, further for 3, come all the way out of it and come to vertical. I'm just going to face you again. Okay, so I get over into the pose, push, lift, and then press, and 2, and 3, and then back up. Okay, use the side bend as the base for the next move. From here, I'm going to rotate towards the floor, and it's okay to straighten that arm or get it almost straight, but just find a place where you still have some tension. Now you're going to leave the arm out at that angle, and I'm going to move back from my pelvis, rocking back as I reach the arm forward into the tension. 2, 3, and then I'm going to come out of it and just come back to that side bend pose. Side view would probably be best this way, sorry. All right, so again, I'm going to twist, extend the arm so I get that tension through the scarf. And then I'm going to push the arm forward and pulse my pelvis back for 3. And I'm trying to rock off those sit bones. 2 and 1. Back to the side and then come back up. All right, I'm only going to give you 3 of the first one, 2 of the second one. I did do that on purpose. All right, one hand on the floor. And just create your simple, not a lot of effort, side bend shape. Give a little pressure up into your towel. Push the hip down. Pulse here. 3, over and up. 2 and 1, come out of it. Over and up doesn't sound as cool as over and out, did it? No. Back over to the side. Push the hip down. Press the arm up. Feel that whole side of the arm and the waist working together for that pulse. 3, 2, 1. Bring yourself all the way up and out of it. One more time. Side bend pose. Anchor your arm, anchor the hip. So I get that push force away from the floor. Pull up to stretch the scarf. Now let's feel the side of the body stretch. 3, 2, 1. Come on back out of it. All right. So we're going to go into that side bend again. Do that same base point. If you weren't getting enough tension, remember you can always adjust, choke up. Probably didn't say that once on the other side. Twist towards the floor. Send the arm out. And now rock the hips back, but keep trying to reach the arm forward. 2 and 1. And I'm just going to turn to the side. So again, I'm going to rotate, extend the arm, and then pulse back, keeping tension, pressing into that scarf. Reach for it. And 3. Come on over and come on out of it. All right, let's go down onto your back. As you set up laying down, we're going to do a bridge with your hips. I want the scarf to go right across the crease of your hips so that you can feel where we want to lift from. So you're placing that, if you're familiar, like the front of your hip bones in Pilates, we say a lot, the ASIS, that spot, you want the towel just under that, where the pelvis meets the leg. And then that way you're pushing up from where the joint space is, and you'll be able to tell if your pubic bone is higher than your hip bones. So set up a little space between your legs, and I'm actually going to have you go into the bridge without even totally setting this up, because I want to grab the towel. I'm just going to stop complaining. Just let me keep saying towel and just ignore me. Okay. I want you to be in the peak of your regular bridge when it is stretched. And then from there, just come on down, and it'll get slack, of course, through your handhold, but it'll stay in the same place. So this is a time we'll work on that deceleration effect. So I'm going to push down into the arms. I'm going to push the hips up, slowing down as I notice the scarf against me, and then I'm going to try to push up, squeezing right where my glutes meet my hamstrings, just into that end range. Abs still tight, knees reaching away from the shoulders, and then you're going to come down. They're not all going to be that slow. All right, so exhale, push up, and you just slow down at your own pace. Feel that edge of it, and then back down. And if you're doing it right, You've got that time to linger there. So just identify where you feel action. If you were focusing on the back of your body, your hamstrings are the back of the thighs, they're involved in this, your glutes should be squeezing, and we want to train those muscles instead of your low back. So if you're feeling your low back, you may have to compress your abs a little bit more to give more support three-dimensionally. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale as you lift. And then if we're doing it right, pubic bone's a little higher than the hips. You get a little stretch quads, but especially here. Back down, last one. Pressing up, reaching into that, slowing down right to the end range, and lower back down. Okay, now more of a smoother flow. Instead of just going straight up and down, we're going to hip roll. I'm going to have you take your arms overhead. There doesn't need to be any stretch in the towel, just a regular grip of it. As you exhale, curl your hips off the mat, and at the same time, bring your scarf to your thighs. Then as you inhale, breathe into your back and roll back down as you take your arms overhead. Exhale, curl up. And then as you inhale, roll back down. Try to sense each vertebra dropping into the mat, and then finish that move off rocking your pelvis back to neutral. Exhale, curl up, pushing the towel to the thighs, and roll back down. One more time. This is why I can never be like a spokesperson or a salesperson or anything. I just can't get right with the words. I'd be selling the wrong product. And relax. Okay. Take your towel, scarf and put it on your foot on the arch. All right. Here, you may not a ton observe the difference of the stretch or not into the scarf. I'm going to have you keep reaching that leg up to the ceiling. And before we start the whole exercise, lower your leg down and up and change your grip so it's appropriate down. Okay. If you can do that, we're actually in the exercise going to be crunching up. I actually should point that out. We're going to be crunching up to an ab prep and going back down. So try that 2 times. Is that really a grip that you're okay with? I just realized I could choke up more. I was about to tell you the wrong thing. You could probably do that. Okay. Here's what the exercise is. You're going to take your other leg to tabletop. We are going to do the ab prep with some scissors going on with the legs. You're going to reach your non-scarf leg out on a low diagonal. You're going to bend that knee. You're going to lower the other leg down, and you're going to extend it up to the ceiling as you flex forward. You're going to lower your head back down and reach that leg out as you pull the scarf leg up to the ceiling. So I'm going to weave it into the scarf, stare at the foot I'm dropping as the other leg reaches up to the ceiling. I'll bend that knee, reach it through the scarf, lower the head down. Now my gaze is looking up at the foot at the ceiling. Okay, so my gaze is always tracking, following the toweled leg. And we're going to do that one more time. Nod, reach up, lower back down. Now your head's going to stay up in the flexion, and we're just going to do the legs a few times so it'll look a little more like scissors. Curl forward, send your leg up, bend your knee, reach it away. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale. I love when I get to say that sing-songy. All right, drop your head and let's switch your feet. Just so like kind of we feel symmetrical, let's lower your leg and lift your leg and check it out. How's your scarf? And then back up. And then going, oh no, that wasn't right, just like we did before. Now curl up and lower. Down. See, it's like a sneaky way to get you a couple extra crunches in. Okay. All right. So if you've got that all ironed out, so you're ready to go, let's take your other leg up into tabletop position. And you're going to start with that leg extended out. You're going to bend your knee. Start to curl up your head. Lower the scarf leg. Bend your knee, weave it through that scarf. Lower your head and reach your leg out. You're going to bend the knee, curl forward. Exhale as you make the scissor shape. Inhale, start to switch. Exhale, leg reaches away. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, reach. Bend and lower one more time. Weave it through. Stare towards the scarf foot. Lower your head down. Look up at the ceiling. Now head stays up. You're going to bend your knee. Reach through. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, start your switch. Exhale away. and lower back down. Just one more time like that. Bend and extend it up. Bend and reach it away. Lower your head back down. Okay, both legs out straight. Holding on to the scarf again. About shoulder width without the extra stretch. And then do the extra stretch. We will use that as we do the roll up now. So feet are going to stay flexed, legs can be together or slightly separated. Take a breath in. As you exhale, reach your arms overhead to make your starting position and focus on keeping your ribs anchored to the mat. As you inhale, arms go up to the ceiling again. Start to stretch the scarf. Nod your chin, curl forward, rolling up a bone at a time. I want you to get up on your sit bones, even if you have to bend your knees, and keep that scarf a few inches higher than your toes. Start to roll back. Keep looking down at your knees. Unravel, lay out flat, reach your arms overhead. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, nod your chin, curl forward, reach to the legs. So this is what it'll look like if you have to bend your knees there. Start to roll back down. Unravel, reach overhead. Hey, if you're doing it, just keep going. I'm going to only go up halfway up this time. If you can't do the full roll up, just go as far as you can and just hang out there. Don't force it. Don't lift your legs. Just wait. And during the holding time, bring your arms overhead, which increases the load you're holding. And then when you lower back down, you'll be building up strength. That'll get you towards that full sit-up. So arms go up. I'm going to go back to that full one. So you'd curl up and you'll just pause. And then just kind of wait while the people go up. Now reach your arms up in line with your ears, and the people will start rolling down. And when I'm matching you, come with me and lower down. Okay. And again, arms up. Now the chin, we're going to curl forward, reach towards the legs, and roll back down. Lay out flat, stay neutral, reach arms overhead. We're going up one more time. Tip your chin down, curl yourself forward, keep pushing out into that scarf. Reach over the legs, and then sit up tall. Okay. Let's go down onto your stomach next. Okay. We're going to do just a breaststroke prep. The first variation in that series will be holding the scarf so that when you're in what we would call the W arms, I want you to already be stretching out into the band. So it's that real tight tone. And just play with this. Stay in a hover and let go of the extra tone by allowing your shoulder blades to come together. So it'll retract when we release that extra stretch. And then I want you to try to protract, separate your shoulder blades, and your arms will slide to make the arms activate again. So when you pull your shoulder blades together, your forearms get closer. So that's how we release the tension. And then we spread the blades apart, the forearms get wider. Do that one more time. So together and apart. Okay. So now I want to time that release while you lift up into extension this time. You're going to take an inhale, retract your scapula as you lift your head and your chest and fill up with that air. Exhale, come back down and press out into the band. Inhale, shoulder blades together, you lift up, and exhale, you push out into the scarf. Inhale, shoulder blades glide back, your gaze goes up off the edge of the mat. Exhale down one more time. Reach your ears away from your shoulders, open your chest. Exhale down. That becomes your new starting position, the lift of this one. Inhale, we come up. Okay, from here, you're going to take on a hover and reach your arms overhead. On your exhale, lower your upper body, send the arms long. Inhale, pull yourself back up and you just tap your arms down. Exhale, drop into hover. Now put the stretch here on the downstroke. Inhale, release that extra stretch as you come back up. And exhale, make sure the shoulder blades glide apart. Energize those arms. Inhale, allow them to come together to lift. Last one, exhale, down, reach overhead. And inhale, back up. All right, just leave your towel for a sec. Sit back onto your heels and go into the shell stretch. Okay, I'm going to have you grab your towel again. And so right now I'm gripping it with my palms down. I'm going to turn thumbs up, and that'll put a little bit of a stretch into the towel when I rotate my arms. Take a breath in, and when you exhale, I want you to pulse forward for 3 and 2 and 1, and then come out of that pulse. And you can see you can kind of like slide a little bit because you have that fabric under there. So now when you pulse, let's do it while rotating the arms more in that direction to stretch. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, press down and stretch it apart. So I'm turning and opening my arms to make that little bit of extra stretch, and then come back out of it. And again, I drop my head, turn out as I pulse. 2, 3, and roll all the way back up. All right, we're going to stay seated. All right, obliques, roll back. Hands about shoulder width apart. This one you won't really know how wide you want this to be. We're going to do a bow and arrow arm. You got to kind of feel it out once first. Just in rolling back, before we even get to the obliques, you're going to start vertical on your sit bones. We're going to do this 3 times just to feel it. I want you to roll back off the sit bones, rounding your lower spine, then rise up. And again, you roll back and get right up onto those sit bones. So that's what the pelvis will still be doing. We add the twist. Now this time as you roll back, bend your back elbow and reach forward with the straight opposite arm. And then come back up to the center. Now let's try it to the other side. You're going to roll back, rotate. I want you to look at the back elbow and then back up. And so it's another place we can use that little bit of stretch to pull with one arm, push with the other arm, and then back up and roll back, rotate. Remember, your gaze is to the back arm, shoulder or elbow, whatever makes more sense, because we want to let the head follow. So I want to be looking in the direction I'm going. Inhale, back up, and roll back. And lift, last 2. Roll back, twist, and up. One more time. Roll back and lift. All right, let's make that a little rolling like a ball. Make sure you have room behind you to roll like a ball. I'm going to place my scarf around my feet. I'm going to hold this so that my fingertips are pointing up, palms are pointing in. Decent amount of choking up. I'm going to depend on the length of your scarf, of course. But I want to create legs together, pushing forward into the band like you're trying to straighten your legs. And then the arms, just a tiny bit of outward pressure. My shoulder blades have to have some space between them on this. So I'm going to, as I increase the flexion, allow the shoulder blades to spread more. Okay, now just recheck the arms. When you roll back, use the force of your arms pulling the feet towards you, but keep the legs stiff so like your knees don't move. You just hold that isometric contraction, but you're going to use pulling the towel to roll yourself down, then pushing your feet slightly into that scarf to come back up. You're going to roll back on your inhale and roll up on the exhale. Okay, so your abdominal muscles are involved in this exercise, but they're part of the isometric work. The work to keep you flexed so you always feel the roundness of the ball when you roll. But the actual propelling here, when the towel pulls my legs towards me, it makes me fall over. And activating the back of my legs by pushing into the scarf helps to keep my pelvis engaged, those extensor muscles as I'm rolling up. Last 2. I'm just babbling now. I mean, whatever, just ignore me. Keep rolling. One more time. And roll back up. Okay, flat tire this one. Roll down to stay. So just flat tire. Okay, off your feet. Boy, do I amuse myself. All right, imprint. One leg's up at a time to tabletop. We're going into double leg stretch. Pose the towel above your shins. Work to keep an imprint, and then add flexion with your upper body by tipping your chin down, curling your head and shoulders up into that ab prep position again. Take one more breath in. When you exhale, reach both of your legs out straight. At the same time, reach your arms overhead with a little outward pressure into that scarf. Inhale back in, bring it over your shins. Exhale, reach away. Arms only go back as far as you can without moving the upper body. Inhale, return. In fact, your challenge is to use your breath to help you hold that imprint in the flexion. Inhale back in and exhale away. Remember, pushing out into the scarf should make you have more support in the shoulder girdle. 2 more times. And inhale, return. Last one. Exhale, slide the ribs to the hips. Inhale back in. Lower your head back down. You squeeze your knees into your chest a little bit if you'd like. Let's get off your back, I think. I'm 99.9% sure I was right. Okay, kneeling side kick. I remember. You're going to put one hand on the floor that you will balance on, and that will also anchor your scarf. You're going to be balancing on one knee. I want you to very slightly turn the knee. That's going to give you a more stable base of support. The action of the towel, you're going to need to reach here to here. Okay, so just feel out. And this doesn't have to be the super stretch scarf. This could be the tone scarf. In fact, make it the tone scarf so you have a little play as you need to. Okay, so we got that set up. You're going to take your working leg to hip height. That might make you adjust where you've placed your hand. And I'd like you to begin with your arm stretched forward and your leg back, which will let you reach your arm forward a little more into a tiny bit of rotation. Now flex your foot, and you're going to kick your foot towards the screen. You're going to reach your arm into that by the ear position. You're going to point your toes, kick backwards, and swing your arm forward. I'm going to inhale on that forward kick. Exhale, reach the arms forward, sweep back. Inhale, kick it to the front. Try to keep your leg parallel. Now, I hope you're noticing this. I took the pulse out, but it's because here it's quite a challenge to stabilize your upper body without going into extension. So I want you to be careful. Don't pop your ribs. Don't take it back too far. This isn't a shoulder flexibility moment. And try not to change the position of your head. Do not look at the arm as it goes overhead. Last two. And exhale, reach. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, reach. All right, shake out the rest you're just balancing on. Which is also, I feel like after that move, that's like your sign of a job well done. And let's go to the other side. Okay. I'm on my hand, I'm on my knee. I have slightly turned my leg. I have tried to figure out the best way to anchor my scarf without hurting my thumb. All right, top leg to hip height. Or actually put that down for a second. Do this first, I'm sorry. None of this matters. We can't do that. All right, so we take the arm up there, now the leg up. And I want you to begin with that leg back, arm reaching forward. When you breathe in, you're going to flex the foot, arm swings in line with your ear, point your toes, rotate as you need to keep your balance. So inhale one way, exhale, we reach forward with that arm. Inhale, kick. Exhale, we balance, keep that tension and reach. Inhale, preventing the extension. And exhale, connect with your abs. Inhale, press through the heel. Exhale, 3 more times. Breathe in and out. 2. One more time. And back. I know I kind of like that one. I feel like even though I had to go slow and think about it, sorry, do this first. Even though I had to go slow to think about it, I felt like it really did give me a chance to get good counterbalances and like have support. And I think like, just in what this is bringing to that same exercise, if we didn't use it, a lot more reason to lift up and out of the ground, which is something teachers are always cueing. But like after a while, it's like you get really fatigued in the shoulder. This helps you resist that. Okay, let's do something else. Got a cough. Okay. Swimming from a kneeling position. For this one, you're going to want to hold the scarf a little bit tighter. And if that extra stuff's going to annoy you, you could always gobble it up like that. Okay. When you see what I'm going to do, you might choose to gobble it up. All right. Tall posture. Take your arms to the extent of your shoulders flexibility, and then just come off of that a little bit. You're going to do a quick flutter with your arms, just alternating. Breathing. We're going to inhale for 5 of these flutters and exhale for 5 flutters. Now you're trying to flutter these arms, let's say just like aggressively fast, while you're resisting any rotation through the rest of your body. So I'm trying to keep my hips over my knees, but stay squared off at the hips and the shoulders with my gaze forward, growing tall through the center of the body. And as you exhale, sliding down your shoulders, pulling those abs in. Give me one more time. Inhale, nice big breath, grow tall. Exhale, squeeze those glutes, pull those abs in, and relax. All right, arms down. Now really loosen up your grip. You're going to reach the scarf overhead, putting a stretch in it if you need to. We're going to take it all the way around to your back. And then up, overhead, and return. I say if you need to, because if you grabbed it loose enough, it might be easy to go through this transition. You want a real wide grip there. Now as I'm going overhead, I'm going to add looking up to make extension. And as I go forward, I'm going to sit back a little and bring it down to the knees. Rise up, bring it behind, look to the ceiling, and then sit back, tap it down. Inhale, lift, and exhale, tap. One more time. Inhale, up, and exhale, tap. All right. Should I forget anything? No, I didn't forget anything. All right, we got one more Abby thing to do. Go onto your back. We're going to put the scarf on your feet. So when we were doing that crunch towards the beginning, you could kind of feel how like dropping your leg made you go up. Now, let's see what we could do with a little teaser action here. All right, so I'm grabbing it so my palms are facing my legs. My thumbs are closer to my feet. My pinkies are closer to the ground. My elbows are bent. My knees are bent. But I am going to suggest you kind of be towards the end of the scarf, but ready to adjust the first time if it doesn't work. Okay, curl your head and shoulders off the mat. And then I'm going to have you reach your legs out, and you're going to move slow through this. Use the leverage to roll up. Extend the legs. You're going to pull the arms in, so we're getting that stretch into the scarf. You're going to look up at your toes. Then I want you to start to roll back your hips and let your arms straighten first, partially. Then bend your knees in, lower your head down. Okay, head and shoulders curl up. Push out into the scarf and follow it. So you want to go slow, but you are definitely changing the lever of your legs to help you get up. Chest is lifted. Look at your feet as you inhale. Now as you roll back, keep looking at your legs. Let the arms start to straighten. So you'll feel your biceps a little bit and lower down. It's like your biceps are working as they're getting longer at that moment. Curl your head and shoulders up. Exhale, curl forward. Now inhale, lift your chest and your chin. Look at your toes. And then exhale, roll back. So arms, 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 arms. Tuck your knees and drop your head. Inhale, head and shoulders go first, then start to use the legs. Allow the arms to lengthen as you need to help you lift your chest. Then roll back, bend the knees, drop your head. Last one. Inhale, head and shoulders go. Start to push out into the scarf. Lift your head and chest. Feel how your shoulder blades have to come back to help you elongate. Then start to roll back. So as the arms release, notice how the shoulder blades get a little space between them. Hey, I said that was the last one. Nah, let's do one more. Just start talking about the shoulder blades. Let's feel that again. Head and shoulders up. Push out into the scarf. Okay, so here I pull the shoulder blades back to lift the chest and chin. And then as I roll back, I'm going to let the shoulder blades get wider again. And then lay out flat. Yeah. That was good. That was good. All right. Let's get up. Last but not least, yeah. All right. You're going to take your scarf. You're going to put it behind your neck, drawn up into the base of your skull, like right where your neck meets your skull. And you want to hold it with kind of goalpost arms, but your hands a lot forward, not true goalposts. And this out and upward pressure you're going to make is a great way to feel the sensation. Another thing we talk about a lot in class, trying to hold your arms up from muscles that are underneath the arms instead of from tension above the shoulders. So you can imagine this muscle like a shelf, and then you're just sitting the bone, the weight onto the shelf like that. The whole time, friends, the whole time. Okay, now with the little pressure of forward and up you've created, this will help you be aware of the alignment of your head over your ribs, over your hips. It also makes my headphones make a weird echo, so I'm going to be self-conscious for the rest of class. Okay, open up in a second position. Let's just start with a few pliés. You're going to bend your knees with the knees angled over your toes and rise back up. You're turned out however much it's comfortable to give you a stable base of support. You may feel a stretch in your inner thighs at the bottom if that's an area you're tight. Try to keep the head ribs and hips vertical over each other as you go up and down. Press into your heels, squeeze your glutes as you're rising up, and a little energy along the outer edge of the foot should help that. One more time. Okay, go down to stay. Now I'm going to have you rotate from this position. You're going to pick up your heel, twist into a lunge, and then come back and you put your heel down. But now it'll just like pick it up to twist it, not separate moves, and return. Rotate and drop to lunge, and back, and rotate and twist. One more full one. And then we're going to stay in the lunge for the next one. So now you're in a vertical lunge, most of your weight over your back thigh. You're going to extend your back knee, hinge forward and go into a fencer's lunge. Is your head or your neck still pushing backwards into the towel? Feel that connection, slide your shoulders down, and then return to that vertical lunge. Hinge forward, push out of the ball of the foot, reach out of the crown of the head, and then come back down, and then reach forward. So I'm always looking to get that line, and then when I come back down, I'm flexing this back knee to land on it, and reach, and back. One more time. Hinging, return. Come to the middle, rise back up, and just let your arms come down for a sec. We'll do the other side, but when I took that break of the towel, I went, maybe they'd like that too. All right, drop on down. Find that good grip. And take your time to make sure it's good, like the other side. All right, heel up. We pivot. You're going to go to that lunge. And then come back, let the heel drop. So I'm going to pivot, sink down, and then rotate back. And return. Give the arms a little more upward pressure as you're dropping your body down. We're going to do one more full rotation. The next one you're going to stay in. Okay, so I'm going to take that lunge from my vertical, hinge forward, push down into that front heel, and then bend that back knee, drop onto that thigh. Send the weight forward over the front thigh. Use your hamstring, pull yourself back, and hinge. Get that opposing energy, and return. I cheated again. 2 more times. Push that head back in space, and lower. Last one. Leaning, and lower. Bring it back. Bring it up. Drop your arms. All right, arms overhead. Just give me a this, and give me a this, and give me a this. Okay, come back to the middle. Give me a this, and now center, around and up. Other way. Side, center, around and up. If I cheat on this one, it's because I'm losing my headphones. And over, through the middle. One more to each side. And all the way up. One more. Side bend, hang through center, around, lift. All right, it's over. I bet this was more than a half an hour. Oh well, I'll talk to you later. See you next week.